Hi, I'm Nicole Smith, the Deputy Chief of EMS, and I have nominated the EMS Department for the Service Award. Our department has gone through many changes this year, starting with an organizational restructuring to being a primary responder for patients with COVID. In fact, the pandemic has inspired our medics to create changes in our patient encounters to ensure a reduced risk of cross-contamination of the virus. And this includes performing their standard operational duties while wearing an increased personal protection that is not only hot but very cumbersome. And many medics have taken it upon themselves to research and propose medical procedure changes that has helped us all to adapt to our medication and equipment shortages, all while responding to an increase in their normal calls for service. And even as injury and illness has affected our department, our medics did not hesitate in stepping up to work extra so the units were covered and ensured that none had to be shut down. Our medics have readily taken these challenges on and have embraced all means necessary in maintaining a safe environment for our patients.
The citizens of League City should be really proud of the men and women who work here. Every department has worked tirelessly to make up for shortfalls during COVID separations to keep our employees safe enough so that we wouldn't miss a lick. But one group really went above and beyond. At one point, this group had lost a third of its personnel and was still responding every day to 20+ emergency calls and sick calls in known COVID hotspots across the city. And that group is League City EMS. They just did so much for our community, and I was so proud to not only be a part of the city where they were serving our citizens, but to say that, hey, EMS falls on my side of the house and I get to make sure that I vote for them for this award. So for all the men and women of League City EMS, thank you so much for all your service. You've really earned this award.
I nominated Helen Hall Library, Parks Recreation, and Parks Operations for the Impact Award. 2020 has been challenging, to say the least, with COVID-19, but that hasn't deterred the staff with continuing to provide quality of life services and bringing back some normalcy back into the lives of our citizens. Staff has developed and put in measures to minimize the social and medical impact of COVID-19 for the safety and well-being of the public and our staff at our highly utilized facilities. These protocols and guidelines are so important to put people at ease and make them feel comfortable coming back to our facilities. Thank you to staff for being the leaders in the region and the state, for reopening our doors for in-person services and programming. And just thank you for not saying what we can't do, but saying what we can do for the citizens of League City.
The Impact Award, in my opinion, should go to the Parks and Cultural Services Department. Can you imagine being a parks employee and for the first time in your career, maybe the first time in the history of this city, actually going out and locking park playgrounds as people leave, putting up no crossing tape on playgrounds, taking down basketball nets so people can't play? That's the type of tremendous impact COVID has had on both the staff and as well as on the citizens themselves. Parks and Recreation, Kenny and his team, having to maintain a degree of safety for not only themselves but the attendees, and at the same time provide some measure of safe programming, and opening and closing and opening and closing. It was mind-numbing, but they did it and they're still doing it. Library, lastly but not leastly, library, creative and nimble as a group of people as I've ever worked with. They had a flood, they had reconstruction of the building inside, and they had COVID. And what did they do? They adopted unique programs and unique opportunities and activities that were online, or guided docent-related activities inside the building, or drive and pickup operations where you did it. As a matter of fact, I've been told other cities would ask, what is League City doing? And then they would copy us very quickly. So, in short, Parks and Cultural Services Department receives the Impact Award. Thank you.
I would also like to say that the EMS Department's pride and dedication is being driven by the exceptional leadership exhibited by Assistant Fire Chief Greg Kunkel, who I am nominating for the city's Leadership Award. Chief Kunkel was immediately immersed in the pandemic, where he initiated a special EMS Departmental Operations Center with a mission to make our COVID-related responses safe and efficient. He guided the administrative team in an EOC-style setup that allowed for open and consistent information being passed along to our medics, making sure needs were being met for their safety, as well as keeping our patients safe. In addition to COVID-related responses, he's ensured that we were prepared for the multiple hurricane storm threats and took lead in the city's EOC for EMS. Greg is in full support of making sure all of our employees has access to educational opportunities to allow for personal growth, and he is not afraid to make a decision that is in the best interest for our department and does so with confidence. The EMS employees are well aware of Greg's history within the EMS community and seek his advice frequently.